This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
CBI questions Kanimuri and Dayalu Amal in relation to the 2G scam. Kanimuri says they are cooperating unlike other politicians.
We are cooperating, unlike many political leaders who don't. So I think that really has to talk for itself.
The DMK and the Congress talks remain inconclusive after 4 rounds of seat identification. They will meet tomorrow too. Amma gives away 1 seat to the Tamil Nadu Kungu Ilangiyar Peravai. It's most likely to be that of the Namakkal district. 6 men, allegedly pirates, attacked the Coastal Express 2 docked off the Chennai port. Their communication equipment is damaged. And ever wonder why some of those theatre outings end up like stale popcorn? It's when a hero, director and script combo formula fails.
Rajinikanth sir, till a newcomer, எல்லாருமே வந்து scripts base பண்ணி தான் பண்ணனும்.
You're watching the news tonight with me, Evelyn Matthew. A look at the other top stories we're tracking at 9 p.m. A massive earthquake measuring 8.8 off the Japan coast triggers a tsunami. An alert is sounded in 19 nations. The quake triggers fires across Japan. A huge blaze goes up at the oil refinery near Tokyo. A huge embarrassment for the Enforcement Directorate. Hassan Ali walks free after being granted bail. And police identify Radhika Tanwar's killer as a mentally unstable man called Vijay, detained 2 men who confessed to helping him escape. Well, the news is coming in even after 4 rounds of talks between the 5-member Congress committee and the DMK bigwigs today. The issue of seat identification remains inconclusive. The parties will meet tomorrow again for another round, and by the looks of it, this issue too bears an uncanny resemblance to the seat sharing chapter both groups had faced of late. Let's just go across to our senior correspondent Peer Muhammad, who joins us from outside the DMK headquarters. Peer, have you been able to gather any kind of reaction from the top leaders from any of these parties? What's really coming in the way of parting with the constituencies today?
Yes, Evelyn. In fact, K.V. Thangabalu, the Tamil Nadu State Congress Committee Chief, he has emerged out of the talks and said that the talks have been cordial and there are no issues, no problems, and the talks will continue on Saturday morning again. That is going to be the 5th round of talks. Obviously, there are problems, but both the sides are tight-lipped about it because they don't want to be more confrontationist because they want a more reconciliatory approach towards solving the issues, particularly the conflict of constituencies between various alliance partners, including the PMK, VCK and the DMK. So already the DMK chief held talks with the other alliance leaders like Ramadas and Tolthirumavalavan on the issues emerging from the talks with the Congress leadership. And they expressed hope that they would be able to sort out the issues. But even after over 90 minutes of talks today at the Anna Arivalayam DMK headquarters, they could not solve the issue. Interestingly, what emerges out of all these talks is one thing that Congress thinks that it has become an inevitable partner in the DMK-led alliance, particularly after the changed reality in the 2006 assembly elections. Congress, which contested 48 seats in the 2006 assembly elections, won 34 seats, which is quite a considerable number. With that support, only the DMK, which contested 132 seats and won in 96 seats, was able to run the government for the last 5 years. That is why Congress is trying to increase its stakes this time. They want to choose the constituencies of their choice. That is taking a longer time than we thought. Yeah.
Also, does it look like this will end the way the chapter of the seat sharing was sorted out? Obviously, there is so much of a delay now, which is also going to delay their campaigning as well.
I don't think the campaigning will stop for this because the other day the Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi had sarcastically remarked that before the nomination begins on March 19th, we will be able to sort out these issues. They do have time until the nominations because the campaign can go on side by side because the alliance is already set. So if you take the case of the AIADMK also, the alliance talks with the CPM is yet to be over, but already the CPM General Secretary Prakash Karath already started campaigning in Tamil Nadu, in Dindigul and Madurai, asking people to vote for the AIADMK-led alliance. So likewise, in the DMK camp also, they can go to the people right now, but these issues will be sorted out by next week on both the camps, both the DMK camp and also on the AIADMK camp.
All right, so a meeting tomorrow then will perhaps spell out that list, but all hopes being pinned on that list. Thanks very much indeed, Pete, for joining us with your inputs into that story. Well, at a time when the DMK can least afford it, the party is now also literally the epicenter of the investigation into the 2G spectrum scam on the day that the CBI questioned Kannimozhi and her stepmother Dayalu Ammal. The Chief Minister's daughter has come out saying that they are cooperating with the CBI unlike other politicians, which in itself, she says, should prove their intentions. M. Karunanidhi's daughter, Kannimozhi, and his wife Dayalu Ammal were questioned by the CBI this morning for around 3 hours in the 2G spectrum scam. The CBI is also getting ready now to submit its status report on the 2G scam to the Supreme Court by the month's end.
We are answering everything and whatever is required, whatever questioning is necessary, we are cooperating, unlike many political leaders who don't. So I think that really has to talk for itself about our intention of coming out clean and that we are above board.
Well, just to remind you that the Kalingnair television office was raided a few weeks earlier. Notably, both Kannimozhi and Dayalu Ammal are known to be major stakeholders in the company. Ms. Dayalu Ammal reportedly owns 60% stake, while the Rajya Sabha MP reportedly owns 20%. The remaining 20%, once again based on reports, is owned by the managing director of Kalingnair television, Sharath Kumar. The whole controversy broke out when it was known that the DB group had transferred money to Kalingnair television. Meanwhile, in the main opposition's camp, the Tamil Nadu Kongu Ilangiyar Pedavai has got one seat, most likely the Namakkal district, from Ms. Jayalalitha. That aside, the rival party also inked their deal with the actor-turned-politician Sarath Kumar's AISMK, which has bagged 2 seats for the assembly polls ahead. As far as the rest of the AIADMK allies are concerned, no announcements on the numbers for the MDMK or the left have been made yet.
அண்ணா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தினுடைய பொதுச் செயலாளர் மாண்புமிகு அம்மா அவர்களுடைய தலைமையில் தமிழ்நாடு கொங்கு இளைஞர் பேரவை, தமிழ்நாடு கவுண்டர்கள் பேரவைக்காக ஒரு தொகுதி ஒதுக்கி அம்மா அவர்கள் தங்களுடைய கூட்டணியில் எங்களை இணைத்திருக்கிறார்கள். கோடிக்கணக்கான கவுண்டர் சமூகம், கொங்கு வேளாளர் சமூகம், உழவர் சமூகம், விவசாயிகளுடைய அரசியல் அங்கீகாரத்திற்காக எங்களுடைய இந்த மகத்தான அங்கீகாரம் எங்களுக்கு தந்திருக்காங்க அம்மா அவர்கள்.
Well, moving on to some other news. Early this morning, half a dozen men reportedly attacked an unmanned ship berthed off the Chennai port. Believed to be pirates, these men boarded the Coastal Express 2, a cargo ship, and allegedly ransacked it. According to the director of Coastal Shipping Department of the Trans-Coastal Cargo and Shipping Company, some communication equipment has been damaged. He also said a complaint has been lodged with the Coast Guard officials. The ship is believed to be docked off the city's port for a while now due to legal problems. In fact, we asked the director of coastal shipping of the Trans-Coastal Cargo and Shipping Company what the ground level was like now and if there was a reason to fear any more of such attacks.
As of now, things are pretty much out of control because all the communication equipment of the ship has been completely smashed by the pirates who boarded in the early hours this morning. and the ship is now completely out of control, and it could pose a threat to any of the coastal installation near Chennai. Yeah, they have sent 3 armed boats to guard the ship right now, but we really don't know whether they'll be able to locate these pirates, because the first time in the history of Chennai port that pirates have attacked any ship within the harbour limit. The Coast Guard have now made some preliminary investigations, and they feel that they are people who might have come from nearby Andhra Pradesh state. But since it has come from out of sea, they have really no clear idea about whom they are after. But they are making desperate search attempts in and around the territorial waters and Chennai port. But we have had no concrete information from them till date.
Up ahead on the bulletin, a massive washout woke Japan's crowded island out of its afternoon siesta. One of the biggest tsunamis of the century creates havoc today.